Juan Morel Campos was born on May 16, 1857, in the city of Ponce, Puerto Rico. He was the son of Manuel Morel Araujo, a Dominican immigrant, and of Juana de Dios Campos Calazo, of Venezuelan origin. From his childhood, he was surrounded by the musical life of the city of Ponce, where bands, festivals, and popular dances sparked his interest in music at a very early age. Despite the financial limitations of his household, he showed remarkable sensitivity and talent from a young age, which drove him to develop his musical vocation. At the age of 8, he began his formal music studies, learning theory, flute, and the fundamentals of composition. He soon proved to be a child prodigy and came to master several orchestral wind instruments, including the cornet, clarinet, piccolo, euphonium, and double bass. Later, he studied piano and composition with Maestro Manuel Gregorio Tavares, a distinguished pianist and composer who, although retired from public life for health reasons, continued to devote himself to teaching music to young people in the city of Ponce. He is known as the father of the Puerto Rican danza. Although the influence of his mentors was decisive, Morel Campos developed his own style, incorporating greater lyricism, emotional depth, and rhythmic elements of Afro-Caribbean origin. During his adolescence, he was already performing in public and working as a professional musician. In the 1870s, he began his career with the Ponce Municipal Band under the direction of Manuel Tavares. During those years, he also began to distinguish himself as a composer. The experience in the band was fundamental to his artistic development. After Tavares' death in 1883, Morel Campos assumed the leadership of the ensemble, from where he elevated its musical quality and transformed it into one of the most important cultural institutions in Puerto Rico. During the 1880s and 1890s, he carried out an intense creative output, specializing in the Puerto Rican danza. The Puerto Rican danza had been transformed in Puerto Rico with African influences such as syncopation and polyrhythm, as well as Caribbean and local elements. Under his talent, the danza evolved into a more elegant, complex, and expressive form, becoming the heart of Puerto Rican classical music. Morel Campos composed more than 300 danzas, including Maldito Amor, Lavra y Georgina, Felices Dias, No Me Toques, and Idilio, works characterized by their melodic richness, refined harmonies, and a deep romantic sentiment. Many of his compositions were inspired by his personal life, especially his relationship with Mercedes Arias, a love that faced family opposition and gave rise to some of his most emotional danzas. To promote his music in an era without recordings, Morel Campos also transcribed his works for piano, allowing them to be performed in homes and thus ensuring their preservation. Additionally, he served as a mentor to young talents, including Ena Otero Hernandez, who later became the first female orchestra conductor in Puerto Rico. Alongside his musical career, Juan Morel Campos worked for many years as a commercial clerk to support his family. In the 1890s, he gained wide recognition as one of the most important musicians in Puerto Rico. His compositions were performed at dances, theaters, and social events, and his reputation extended beyond the local sphere. His work was fundamental in establishing the danza as a musical symbol of Puerto Rican national identity. His life was brief. On May 12, 1896, while conducting the danza El Reloj de Lucerna at La Perla Tether in Ponce, he collapsed on stage and died suddenly just 4 days before his 39th birthday. His death caused profound shock throughout the country, especially in his hometown, Ponce. He was initially buried in the civil cemetery of Ponce, and in 1926 his remains were moved to the base of his statue in Plaza Las Delicias. After his death, his legacy continued to grow. Juan Morel Campos is considered the greatest exponent of the Puerto Rican danza and one of the most important composers in the island's musical history. As an Afro-Puerto Rican mulatto, he represents a symbol of excellence and perseverance. His greatest musical contribution was incorporating and blending Afro-Caribbean elements into classical music. In a society where Black contributions were often marginalized, his success in concert music demonstrated the talent and capability of the Afro-Puerto Rican people. He was part of a generation of Black and mulatto musicians who transformed contradanza into the authentic Puerto Rican danza. His work helped strengthen Puerto Rican cultural identity during the final years of Spanish colonial rule and the beginning of youth governance in 1898. The danza became a symbol of elegance, pride, and national sentiment, and his style influenced the musical version of Puerto Rico's national anthem, La Borinquega, which is structured in the form of a danza. Juan Morel Campos Day was officially established by the government of Puerto Rico through Law No. 47. This measure declared May 16 of each year, the birth date of the distinguished composer from Ponce, as a day of commemoration in his honor. Numerous institutions, schools, and cultural spaces bear his name, including the Juan Morel Campos Free School of Music in Ponce and educational centers in Puerto Rico and New York. In 2001, he was inducted into the International Latin Music Hall of Fame. His danzas continue to be performed in Puerto Rico and around the world, influencing genres such as concert music, salsa, jazz, and other contemporary expressions. Although he died young, his genius made him immortal. From the streets of Ponce to international stages, Juan Morel Campos embodies the creativity, resilience, and cultural pride of Afro-Puerto Ricans. His music remains alive, an essential part of Puerto Rico's heritage and cultural heart. If you made it this far, follow us to keep learning about and celebrating our Puerto Rican culture. See you next time!